Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Fuel for Success.
So you've been so quiet. What's the deal?
I don't think there's people working. We're in a Starbucks in the Seattle area.
And it's awkward because we're literally sitting right next to each other. And people don't know we're doing a show, my friends.
That's right. So I don't like this guy that much. Just
letting you know.
Well, hey, we're here in the Seattle area. Of course, we're launching Mission 25 tonight here in Seattle. And I'm excited about that. It's a beautiful day here.
We have the Seattle touch, my friends. We have a way of bringing good weather here. I can't explain it, but 3 years straight, it's been perfect weather in Seattle when we come. It's just like, it's just the touch we have, man. What can we say?
Blessed and highly favored. So, that's exciting. And
we actually were on the same plane last night.
Yeah. Did y'all see the Instagram video? See the guy photobombing?
That was so funny, man. And I didn't even notice him photobombing until last night when I was posting it. I laughed so loud. I was actually in the bathroom, and I was screaming out. Mike was outside in the airport, and I was like, dude, pull up your Instagram. It was funny. But anyways, we're looking forward to Mission 25 this weekend in Seattle. For all you that are not here with us this weekend, we might forgive you. But it's actually going to be you that's going to have to forgive yourself because you're going to regret it. You're going to be sad. You're going to wish you were here. It's going to be awesome. We've got a lot of really amazing things planned out. We're really missing Carol. I'd like to give a shout out to Carol Hopkins right now if she's watching. Carol, we love you and we miss you already. Just letting you know.
Miss her like crazy. Before we even got on the plane. She's growling. Hey,
so today's our show about...
Today's Friday, and just like every Friday, we're going to talk about family and relationships. One of our most popular topics that we talk about every single Friday. And this is our 28th Friday or something of that nature. So, as always, feel free to ask questions in the chat box. You can text them to us at 727-341-5599.
What about Niner? I like
Niner.
Niner. I just don't think most people knew that you were actually saying 99.
I think most people actually did, but it's possible. If I did confuse you with the pilot speak, my apologies. It's 5599.
Well, today is our show about family and relationships. A lot of good, interesting questions have come in, and by the way, guys, don't forget to use the chat box. We're sorry we're a little late. We're operating on Pacific time. So It's actually, we're on time. It's 9 a.m. here in Seattle. So we're staying with the 9 a.m. Fuel for Success flow here. So for all you that are watching, I know it's a different time. And like we said, it's only on days we have to travel.
Right. And we traveled almost 12 straight hours yesterday. There was this guy on the second flight that couldn't get his bag in the overhead, and the stewardess was the flight attendant was yelling at him, and that might have been me.
It was funny. And she was yelling at him. There's nothing worse than getting yelled at by the flight attendant and the stewardess in front of the whole plane because planes are already quiet. It's like an elevator. Everybody's just sitting. Mike kept trying to get his suitcase in the thing, and the thing was open, right? The lady was like, "Sir, all the bins that are closed, that means they're full." Mike was still trying to get it in there, right?
I'm like,
she goes, "Sir, all the bins that are closed, that means they're full." So he's still trying to get it in there, and the third time she goes, loud, she goes, "Sir, all the bins that are closed, that means they're full." And I said, "Ma'am, I love you, but that bin's not closed."
It was not closed.
It's not full. So then she repeats herself again.
Yeah.
So needless to say,
anyways,
we were on the flight. The three people that were right ahead of us were slap drunk. And I was napping with my eye pillow, and Mike was leaning forward on the seat.
And I didn't get a picture.
I know. What's up with that?
I got your back.
Flow. Yeah, that's good. Got it.
So we ended up getting in late, and at 1 o'clock, I think, this morning when we hit the hotel, I said, "Hey, do you really want to get up at 6 and do that thing at 9 Eastern?" And we're like, "That's not going to happen."
Yeah, we would have for you guys, but actually, we know you want what's best for us.
That's right, because we're talking about relationships today, and one of the greatest ways to build a good relationship is to really, have empathy for the other person's position. So,
Well, I want to address a relationship issue real quick. That's a big, huge relationship issue, and that's insecurity. So this is probably one of the number one causes of relationship failure, if you would, whether it be in a marriage, whether it be in dating, whether it be in friendships, whether it be in business. A lack of trust, a lot of times a lack of trust really isn't about the other person. It's about your own insecurities. And I've worked in my life coaching. I've worked with a lot of people that were insecure and that were having probably 90% of my life coaching, believe it or not, is fixing people's relationships, which is a lot of fun. But in the process, I've learned a lot. And one of the things that I've learned is how insecurity in a relationship really does drain that relationship, sabotage that relationship, and really in a lot of ways hurt it. So let's talk a little bit today, Mike, about how maybe somebody can break through their insecurities. Because at the end of the day, if someone's insecure, they're insecure. It's easy for us to say, well, you got to trust, right?
Yeah. So if someone's watching this right now and they're thinking, I wonder if I am insecure, am I suffering from that? Is that causing issues in my relationship? What are some key things they could look for that would tell them that they're insecure, or they're having insecurity issues?
Like, we could feel insecure because the guy that was just sitting at this table just moved. Like, clearly, like he grabbed his laptop and he's walking across the Starbucks.
We were probably too loud.
Probably a little too loud. So now that could hurt us. We could feel hurt. We could actually go up to him and say, sir, you really hurt our feelings that you moved. No, some of the signs of insecurity are, it depends. In a relationship, it could be like maybe if your spouse has to go to the doctor, or, let's say maybe if your spouse is at work and maybe works around, gorgeous women, or maybe, at church, maybe insecure about your spouse being around other men, it can happen to everybody. It's a real issue. It really is. It takes a long time to build that trust to where, a lot of times if someone is insecure, they might make up things in their mind that aren't really real.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
So really, one of the key indicators would be a lack of trust when you're not necessarily or thoughts of
like something that's not really happening. Like maybe your spouse cheating on you. That's one. Another one could be it could be talking bad about others, putting other people down, not being able to compliment other people's success. These are signs of insecurity. Bless you. What would you say? Have you noticed any signs maybe in people that you've worked with?
Well, I think that one of the primary things that I've noticed is people that are insecure about themselves is they're a lot of times if you have a critical spirit or you find fault with other people. A lot of times people that have those tendencies, I wouldn't say 100% of the time, but that's one indicator that you may have some insecurity issues because you're looking for fault in what other people are doing. And you can't celebrate other people's success. That may be an indicator that you may have some insecurity.
And insecurity is normal. Let's just
lay it out there.
Yeah, it's normal.
Everywhere.
She said, "Was I flirting with the sneezer?" I wasn't flirting with the sneezer, Miss Hannah, because I don't even know what the sneezer looks like. The sneezer's around the corner. It's my nature when people sneeze to just shout out, "God bless you." My bad. So fine line between jealousy and insecurity. Absolutely. This is a subject that, believe it or not, we could talk about for a long time. Jealousy and insecurity.
Sure. But understand that insecurity can happen when there's nothing to be jealous about. Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times there's an external influence of something that causes jealousy. Maybe a situation, maybe, a relationship somebody you're close to has with someone else that could cause jealousy. A lot of times insecurity leads to jealousy. A lot of times also insecurity is based on nothing except the internal person, the person who feels insecurity.
I read a statistic that says 8 out of 10 people battle with some form of insecurity. They're insecure about how they look. They're insecure about their gifts. They're insecure about where they work. Maybe they don't have the greatest job, right? So like this, okay? Maybe right now you don't have a lot of money. Maybe your car's not the nicest. Maybe you're not even able to dress your best right now. And maybe there's like other men or women around your significant other that is at a higher level of life. It's easier to feel insecure, like feel like I'm not at their level or I'm not whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's a real legit issue here. Oh, that's good what Jeff said. Insecure people are defensive. And that's so true. So, let's maybe share. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Mike?
Carol's asking what we're insecure about.
What are we too insecure about? We're insecure about sitting next to each other in Starbucks.
A little bit.
No, I mean, I actually had to go through the battle of insecurity myself. I've shared some of this on past Fuel for Success. I've personally lived through an affair, betrayal, broken trust on a couple occasions, actually. So obviously anybody that's experienced some form of broken trust is going to battle with insecurity. I think I would say to everybody out there that if you're insecure, you don't need to be in a relationship, especially you single people, until you work on you and building your self-confidence and getting, becoming whole. If you're in a marriage and you're insecure, then I would like to talk to your spouse to be patient with you and help you heal. But at the end of the day, what insecure people do, Mike, is they literally end up draining their spouse because they try to get from them what their spouse can't give. Like, you got to become whole within yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to love yourself. And people that don't love themselves, they're insecure, and they want their spouse to meet all of their emotional needs. It just can't happen. No one person can meet all of your emotional needs.
From an external perspective, that's so totally true. As you were mentioning that, I'm thinking about the word insecurity, and when Carol asked the question, what makes me insecure? When I think about that, I'm sort of breaking it down. Of course, being the analytical type that I am, that what is insecurity? It's the opposite of security. So if you think about the things you're secure about, so what do you like? What are you comfortable like? I'm secure. I have no worries about that area of my life, that area of my life, that area of my life, and that'll help you illuminate the areas where you may be insecure, because those are the ones you sort of say, well, I'm not that secure about that. And that feeling of security, is the opposite of what we have in an insecure situation. So it's not necessarily just about relationships either. You can feel insecure about, like you say, your job. You feel insecure about your finances, your living situation, and those sort of insecurities will feed the emotional insecurities in your relationships as well.
Yeah. Like, I'm a Dave Ramsey type guy, which means I've driven a lot of used cars before.
Yeah.
And when you're a single guy and you're driving a Dave Ramsey mobile and you're going on a date, I've had many a dates where I've driven and parked way down the parking lot so they didn't see what I drove up in. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm just being real here, my friends. I mean, that's a real life situation where I was like, I don't want this girl to see that I drive this car.
That's funny.
So anyways, that's a whole nother.
At least you're not out there with the starter group going, go ahead, crank it over. Go ahead, crank it over. That would be a great way to end the first date.
Somehow, Mike, we've got to help people out there that are struggling with relationships. What can we do? Family relationships.
That's funny. Sorry, I'm visualizing now, so I'm totally off on a different track.
Yeah, that was actually funny. I mean, so at the end of the day, though, everybody battles with insecurity. That's something that you've got to work on, and let's talk about, let's give 5 practical things people can do to heal from insecurity. Number 1, you got to stop telling the story of your childhood. I mean, I love you. We've all been hurt. We've all had, I'm sorry what your dad did. I'm sorry what your mom didn't do. But at the end of the day, you've got to heal from that. You've got to literally let it go and stop telling that story. A lot of you are never going to heal until you stop telling them old stories. No joke. Tell your story 2 or 3 times and then stop. If you want to tell it, write it in a book and let the book tell it. And if you're going to tell it like in a seminar setting or whatever, don't tell it as a victim. Tell it in more of a victorious story of how you overcame. You know what I mean? Literally, I'm telling you, the people that I've worked with, I've had to tell them, okay, now listen, I want you to tell me this story one more time, but I'm not going to allow you to tell this story anymore. This is becoming a drug to you. You keep retelling the story, and you're never going to heal past the insecurity. Two, go ahead.
I was just going to say the problem is that you begin to frame your life around the context of that story, and then everything you see is colored by that framework. So when you remove that story from your life, then you say, okay, now this isn't going to affect the way that I look at everything, but that always isn't. Because I've met people and I've worked with people that literally define themselves by their shortcomings or their disabilities or situations from their past, and they define themselves by the chaos that creates in their lives. And it's like if you could just stop rehashing that, you wouldn't frame your life based on those experiences anymore.
You would ask for a sign of someone that was insecure. Okay, if someone gives you a compliment, like I literally have given a compliment maybe to a girl that I was maybe on a date with and said, man, you look beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And like they literally don't know how to take it. That's a sign of insecurity. I've met like incredibly successful people that were insecure. I've met dudes that just were ripped, had a Mercedes, 3-story home, owned their own business, and were massively insecure. I've met gorgeous, beautiful women that were insecure. I mean, really. Like when you compliment them, they either turn red in the face, they look down, they look away, or they'll say, "No, you're just saying that." That's a sign of insecurity as well. So the second thing is that you have to do is you got to stop telling the story. You got to forgive whoever or whatever has hurt you. You got to literally forgive it, because if you don't, you're going to stay in victim mentality. Third, you got to stop thinking negative thoughts. One of the reasons you're insecure is because you think you're insecure. You keep claiming it. It's okay to admit stuff, but not accept it. Believe it or not, you can admit, I battle with insecurity, but I refuse to be insecure. So even saying that has a way of helping heal, helping you become stronger. The Bible says I can do all things through Christ. Paul said, I think myself happy. The Bible also says, whatever you think, so are you. Right. So if you think you're insecure, you're going to be insecure. And when I teach people, when I do life coaching with them and how to rebuild their confidence, is the best way to be confident is to act confident. And the best way to be secure is to act secure. Now there's a fine line to this, because some people that are insecure act out in ways trying to look secure that make them look completely foolish, right? So then my last piece of advice is to start doing things that make you feel more confident about yourself. Yes, you should get in shape. You should get out of debt. You should master relationships. You should become a better person. You should take seminars and grow personally. Some of you are insecure because you really don't have the goods right now. Okay, let's be real about it. Your insecurity is right. You don't have the goods. So get the goods, baby. That's what I would say. If you don't got the goods, go get the goods. Yeah. And build that confidence and that security. And if you did those 5 things I just named, that would help you. It really would. But it really starts with stop telling them old stories. Yeah. People called you names when you were in 3rd grade. They called you fat. Okay, I understand. It hurts. Let's get past it. If you don't want to be called fat anymore, join our weight and loss system, and we'll help you not be fat, my friends, and you won't be called it anymore. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I like what Jeff Sanders said here about insecure people need to realize that they're like everyone else. And sometimes we get this false perception that everyone around us has achieved more than we have, and they have it going on better than we have. Their life is better than ours, and these sort of things. And the reality is that there's only from the top performers in the world to the lowest on the social ladder in the United States today, it's like a 5% difference. There's not that much difference between people, and it's like, that insecurity based on, when you see other people, you see them at their best.
Yeah.
Right?
But you wouldn't think they would struggle or battle with insecurity.
Right, because they don't wear it on their sleeve. They're not talking about it all the time. You only see them. Think about your best friend. How much time do you spend with your very best friend compared to how much time you spend with yourself? I mean, it's a very small percentage of time. And so they're putting their best foot forward. You're seeing the best of them. that sort of thing. Even your spouse. I mean, I spend all day, every day with my wife, but I don't know her nearly as well as I know me.
Yeah. And, I would say one more thing. People that are insecure, they're locked in victim thinking. I worked really hard last week with a client breaking victim thinking, and I believe she's going to do it. But a lot of times, those two go hand in hand. When any time you think that you're a victim, you're going to be insecure. The day that you break victim thinking is the day that you're also going to break past insecurity. Part of it is starting to love yourself again. Love yourself. I know that sounds, kind of like weird. Hey, love yourself, Mike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's so true. Because if you love yourself, then you're going to be more secure and more confident within yourself. And you ready for this? It goes like this. If a girl dumps you, right? Don't think, it's like I've had clients that they've been hurt by guys, so like their view of all men are jerks, all men this, I don't trust men. Listen, you cannot allow the past circumstances of life and the pains of life to keep you from healing or loving yourself or even giving other people a chance. Okay, so let's say like your friend betrays you. Okay, or let's say your boss fires you, or let's say your wife cheats on you, or let's say, you can't control. You know what? You know what's going to help a lot of you out there? I want you to say one thing right now, literally, wherever you are, I want you to say these words. People are people.
People are people.
People are people, my friends. People are human. They do stupid stuff, and it's like, if a girl doesn't want me, her loss, my friend, and you should feel the same way. If your wife walks out on you or your husband walks out on you, don't become this overweight, depressed person that's hooked on meds for the rest of your life. No. Say, something? I'm going to heal from this. I'm not going to let this define me. Somebody's going to find the gold in me. You need to keep telling yourself, just because one person doesn't like you doesn't mean another person's not going to like you. And I'm not just talking about dating relationships. I'm talking about friendships.
Sure.
Yeah, just because one friend is a betrayer or, not real or not loyal.
If I can use a Midwest colloquialism, Mark Twain actually said that if a cat jumps on a hot stove, stay with me on this, if a cat jumps on a hot stove, he'll never jump on another hot stove. But he'll also never jump on a cold one. And so you have to differentiate between those hot and those cold stoves. Most stoves aren't hot. That's a good quote. You know what Mike's saying is? Mike is saying this. Don't judge every human being by your interaction with the past human beings. Everyone is different. Not everyone is out to get you. Not everyone's out to hurt you. Not everyone's out to cheat on you. Not everyone's out to lie on you. Accepting that here, believe it or not, helps heal past insecurity. Yeah, and I'm saying don't be the cat.
Yeah, don't be the cat. Mike is saying, that's what Mike is saying.
That's always good advice.
You know what Mike's saying? Mike's saying, let me say what I'm saying, Matt. Don't try to say what I'm saying. Let me say what I'm saying.
I'm not at all insecure about you interpreting what I said.
Yeah, like you know what? I mean, so what? You don't look like the Hollywood model, okay? So what? You're not the guy that's got tall, dark, wavy hair. You're not the hottest guy in the room, or you're not the best businessman in town. You don't have the biggest house in the neighborhood. You can't be insecure about that kind of stuff. That stuff is all fleeting, my friends. That stuff is all material. You've got to focus on you becoming the best you that you can be. And believe it or not, the right people in your life won't make you feel insecure. Some of you are insecure because you're with the wrong people. And the right people will not leave you feeling insecure.
Love that. Jeff Sandifer says, some insecure people are extreme people pleasers, constantly doing things, hoping they'll get a compliment so they'll feel better about themselves. And you know what the end of the day is? The end of that story is it never works. It never works.
Jeff, what you just said was powerful, my friend. I like Jeff Sandifer. He's a winner, man.
Good.
I like him a lot.
A lot of wisdom. So in that same, the reality is that we've talked about people pleasers before. At the end of the day, you're never going to get that. And even if they do give you the compliment you're looking for, it's fleeting and it's gone and it doesn't really help and it's an empty.
Can I say this about confidence? Confidence is actually an extremely attractive trait. A person's personality, believe it or not, can make them more attractive. It really can. Like, I've met people that, well, like I said, were gorgeous. But because of their insecurity and because of their lack of vibe and confidence, they literally became unattractive. And I've met people that were average, that, like, the more you're, like, around them, you're like, wow. Because they had this confidence, they had this energy, they had this vibe, they were secure within themselves.
My wife's texting me.
Carol's texting, and it might not have been nice.
Marie says she was insecure, but God has been letting her know that she's secure in Him. And one of my mentors early on, Ron Fuller, I mentioned him on the show, he told me early in my walk with God that he said, get your self-esteem from God. Don't go to other people to try to build your self-esteem.
Your self-worth, that's good.
And that to me was a powerful statement, and I think there's a lot of worth, because people will always let you down.
Maybe your parents never told you were good enough. I mean, a lot of these insecurities come from childhood, comes from their parents not giving them the affirmation that they needed. We do need to be affirmed. We're human. We do need to be complimented and made to feel special and made to feel good. But it's like what Mike said. You can't, if someone doesn't validate you and give that to you and doesn't recognize your worth, that doesn't diminish your worth. If somebody doesn't recognize your value, that doesn't diminish your value because they don't recognize it. You can't allow somebody's lack of perception of you or respect for you or like for you to take you out of your flow and make you feel like you're this worthless person when you're not a worthless person. You're only a worthless person when you think you're a worthless person. It literally, all of it comes back to your mind and how you think of yourself. How you see yourself is how others are going to see you. How you treat yourself is how others are going to treat you. One of the reasons why some of you keep attracting bad relationships and bad friendships, believe it or not, it's you. You're 100% responsible for that, because your own thinking and the way that you view yourself is literally causing you to attract these types of people. Water seeks its own level. Like you literally are attracting what you are. So if you want better people in your life, be a better person. Like someone once said, I want a friend. Good, go be a friend. Go be the right person, and you'll start attracting better people to you. And having that self-confidence and that security within yourself. And you know what, if someone doesn't, the Bible said David encouraged himself. So maybe someone doesn't tell you look beautiful. Go look in the mirror and tell yourself. Sure doesn't feel as good. You know what I'm saying? You ever done that, Mike?
I don't think I have. I might, just to see what it's like, though.
Just go look in the mirror and just like, man, Matt, you look good, bud.
And Carol pointed out that, everyone is different. Different people have different needs, of course. And there's, the different love languages. We've talked about that. And so some people have more need for affirmation than others. That's absolutely true.
I have more need for affirmation. My love language is words of affirmation.
Right. And that's absolutely true. And
it's a love language.
Absolutely. Not one of mine. We're just wired different. It's okay.
Okay. I'll ask Mike, hey, how did you think the show went? And I'm like, good. I'm like, so I didn't do good? You're like, yeah, it was awesome. Right?
Yes.
Right, Carol?
Hey, we took the personality test at church on Wednesday night before choleric, sanguine, etc. Any guesses what I am? Anyone?
Anybody want to guess what Mike is? I guessed right away.
Actually, I was a little bit disappointed because there was no clear winner. So.
That's actually the same personality trait as Jesus. He was even across the board. That would make you feel good.
If my love language is words of affirmation, that would really put me on high right now, but I don't care. Okay. Hey, we've got just about a minute left. Want to remind everyone, Mission 25 is tonight. If you're in the Seattle area, come see us.
Come see us. If you're not in the Seattle area, go drop a donation, y'all. Go drop a $500 donation. Come on, roll something out for us. No joke. Go to mission25usa.com. Throw a little love towards this cause. We're going out and helping teenagers, homeless teenagers tomorrow, homeless, children, battered women. Got like 48 battered women that live in a battered women home and their kids that we're going to be hanging out with and blessing. So give some money to this cause. If everybody just gave some, you know how you could do it? Just ask God what he would have you give. It's that simple. Just say, Lord, I want to give something to Mission 25. How much should I give? And if God says, give $1,000, do it. It's a very worthy cause, my friends. Did I say something funny?
Even if it doesn't sound anything like Matt.
Yeah, God's voice doesn't sound like mine.
It'll probably sound more like Morgan Freeman. That's what I'm expecting anyway. But, good. Hey, great show, man. That was awesome stuff. I love what you shared. It was amazing. This was a great show. Really helped our people build better families and relationships.
So you're actually saying I did a good job for once.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want you to know that I appreciate what you did.
Well, speaking of affirmations,
pour your heart into this.
Thank you to our viewers here that showed up and hung out with us. We love you guys. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back Monday to talk to you about your health and weight loss. And then we'll look forward to seeing you guys. We might go live tonight with Mission 25. We might. I can't promise. But really, dude, Mike, put the link up there. I want everyone to go make a donation. If Mike and I help you in any way, if we're ever a blessing to you, rarely do we ask for a give back, but this is a day we're asking for a give back. Go to Mission 25. If it's $25, if it's $100, if it's $70, if it's $200, go give something, and you'll be blessed. That's the website. You can give in less than 2 minutes to Mission 25, and 100% of it will go out into what we're doing tomorrow. So it's going to be awesome. You'll be a part of it. Literally, when you give today, you'll be a part of what we do tomorrow. So thank you so much, Hannah. Thank you, Bethany. Good to see you guys. Love y'all. Tell Serge I said hi, Beth. Good to see you, Ellen Ray. Ellen Ray, what's up with the Blue Jays? They're looking good. Good to see J.G. Bariza. Did I say it right?
Jeff, yeah.
Bariza. Paula Nelson. Maria, one of our favorites. Maria, we were hoping you would surprise us and come to Seattle. Mike and I are sad.
We're sad. We haven't seen Marie since Los Angeles. It's good to have you with us in L.A.
Ellen Ray hasn't come. Ellen Ray and Hannah should take a road trip and come to New York Mission 25.
That's right.
Jeff Sandiford better get his tail to one or he's in trouble.
If he ain't in New Orleans, we're coming after him.
If he ain't in New Orleans, I'm sending out maybe Washington, Maria, okay? And Carol, what's up with her not coming to Mission 25?
Let's not go there. Hey, we love y'all. Thank
you guys. Looking forward to it. We love you and appreciate you.
God bless you.